going on. Something might have been screwed up. I ain't sure. I thought that I was streaming here, and I've been talking to myself for the past half hour. Let's see. Let's refresh this. See if the right information. Nope, it's still not showing up. All right, so we're going to start down the start and finish line with the live racing is starting now. Jamie Mullins will be on the inside. Adrian G. Schumacher on the outside. James Crutchfield on the inside. Kenneth Peck on the outside. Curtis SUV Sovereign on the inside. Jim Hubble will be on the outside in 6th place. Brian Wasserman will be in the number 17 in 7th place. Ben Campbell will be in the 27 in 8th place. Justin Smith will be in 9th in the number 9. Funny how that worked out. Tommy Osborne, number 2 time, will be in the number 1, rounding out your top 10. Tyrone Yo will be in the number 2 in 11th place. Colton Lamford in the 25, bringing up 12th place. Slim in 13th place in the 53. Larry Stubblefield in 14th place in the 82. And then Gregory Smokey Robinson will round out the pack in 15th place in the number 3. The lights are out on the pace car. All the drivers are getting ready. Let's see how it works. The field is about to go green. Pace car looks to be away. Looking for that restart zone. You hear the engines going. Does not sound like anybody's hit a misshift, and away we go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Bluegrass 140 is on its way. You see some of the cars banging off of the wall coming out of 2. When we was talking to the drivers earlier, they were saying that coming out of 2 and 4 is going to be a hard trick tonight because the car gets loose as it comes out and they will slide up the wall. Tyrone Yo has passed Colton Lamford for position 11. Larry Stubblefield passed Colton Lamford for position 10. Crutchfield has passed Adrian G. Schumacher for position 2. Adrian is taking back position 2 now. So the battle is between Schumacher and Crutchfield for that second place. Mullins is just walking away with the lead right now. Kenneth Peck has moved up and he is now in 3rd place, battling it out with Crutchfield. Ryan Wasserman has passed Curtis for position 5. We're watching the cars as they come around the corners. See them coming around, going through, and they're sliding up the track just a little bit as they cross the start-finish line. Nelson is trying his best to catch up to Kenneth Peck. He's staying in the mid to low areas going into 1 and 2. You see it looks like Adrian Schumacher is trying to enter low and come out just in the mid to high position of turns 4. He entered 3 low but comes out. It moves him up. We've got Schumacher being passed for position 1. Schumacher has passed Jamie Mullins for position 1. Curtis Sovereign passed Crutchfield for position 5. James passed for position 1 So Schumacher is battling for the first position right now. Tyrone Yo has passed Colton Lamford for position 12. We're watching James Nelson as he's trying his best to catch up to Brian Wasserman. He's trying to follow in the lines of Adrian G. Schumacher, going in low and coming out just a little bit high against the wall. Now, here it comes. Will it work as James drives low? But no, Wasserman stays low and blocks him as he goes around. He is outrunning Kenneth Pack. Kenneth Pack is now back into the 4th place. Brian Wasserman has now dropped to 4th place, and Kenneth Pack took over 3rd place. Wasserman and Pack are battling it out, going into turn 3. Pack is running high, could not get into the low line. Wasserman was able to slide job and get right up there in front of him right before he could cut him, or before he came out of turn 4. Now Nelson, watching the same thing, is trying his best to work his way around Kenneth Pack and get that 4th place position. Oh, we have a slider who banged off of the wall. It looked like Curtis Sovereign bounced off the wall. He was able to maintain control of it and keep it going. Do not know how much damage was taken. Let's go take a look at Sovereign real quick and see what happened back there. It might not do it because nope, it's not going to do it. It wasn't a big hit, so it's not going to do it. Now, these gentlemen were talking about how the control is. With them sliding sideways up the track, you know it's wearing these tires out, driving into these corners. Tire wear is going to be a factor tonight on these drivers who have the lesser experience on a mile track like this. I believe that Kentucky is under a mile and a half. You see the cars bouncing off of the wall coming out of 2. They're running side by side and entering turns 3. As they come across the start-finish line, Ben Campbell is giving James Nelson a run for his money and making him work a little bit harder. Let's take a look on the inside of James Nelson's car from the cockpit. You can see that 27 is filling up the rear view mirror big time, and the 82 has been moving his way up the field. He is now up 7 positions to 7th place. Let's go ahead and take a look at Mr. Stubblefield. See how he works with Benny. See if he can work his way around Benny. Right here coming into the backstretch. Benny is up against that wall. Oh, he dive bombed him just a little bit. Pushed him down. Made him have to brake check. Larry Stubblefield is not too happy or pleased with that. So he's trying to put everything he can into the gas to get up there and get past Ben Campbell. Ben Campbell is doing everything he can to hold off Larry Stubblefield, and there he goes. Larry Stubblefield was able to shoot past Ben Campbell. Going in turn 3, Larry Stubblefield is now in 6th place. He sees the leaders. The one that he wants to catch is that 48 right there in front, who just seems to be walking away from Jamie Mullins and the rest of the pack. We'll take a look at... Whoa. Okay, Schumacher is having some connection issues, but you can see that he is driving as good as possible. He's got a good distance between the car behind him and nobody in front of him. He's looking to see how far around the track he can go on this set of tires without tearing them up. He goes high, dives low into 1 and 2, so he can come out without that much tire wear. As we watch him drive around, let's check in on Jamie Mullins. Jamie Mullins is trying to close that distance between him and Schumacher. You see, he's not fighting too much with the car. The steering wheel is being held pretty good. There is not that much tire square or tire damage being done. However, he is not following Schumacher to the outside, to the inside, to the outside. He is actually entering turns 1 and 3 a little bit lower than Schumacher is. Then we have Brian Wasserman. He's all over the back end of Jamie Mullins. This is our first time seeing Wasserman in action here on the QFRL Racing Network. So there's a little bit of an offset. He is straining just a little bit. You can hear him not applying the brakes. You hear the tires swelling as he's coming out of two. So he's putting a little bit more wear and he's turning a little bit more than the other drivers as they go through the corners. Now checking in on Mr. Kenneth Pack. As you look in his rear view mirror, you can see Crutchfield's about 3 car lengths back behind him, but he is only a car length to 2 car lengths behind Wasserman. You see, there's not much struggle with his wheel. He is able to slowly motion through. The red tape on his steering wheel is not going past the 930 position. It's actually staying about 9:45 to 10 o'clock. So he is doing real good at tire saving right now. James Nelson, as we watch him, you look in the rear view mirror, there is no car behind him for a good probably 10 to 12 car lengths back. Mr. Crutchfield is trying his best to follow Kenneth Pack, and he's following Brian Wasserman's strategy as well, using the low. Coming into turn 1, he dives low going into the corner. It's going to cause a little bit more tire wear. So right now, everybody from 2nd to 5th place is actually using the low entry instead of the high entry like Mr. Schumacher. Next, we'll go back to Larry Stubblefield. Larry has closed the gap to 0.69 seconds on Crutchfield. He's using the slightly higher entry. He's going mid to high and coming out mid to high. So he is trying to save on his tire wear. Watch the red tape. The red tape goes over. It's about 930 at max, and he's staying in the mid of the turn. Next we have Mr. Jim Hubble, who looks like he's got nobody behind him because Tommy Osborne is 2 seconds behind him. The gap behind him is 2.89 seconds. The gap in front of him is 0.9 seconds. You hear the gentleman saying, "You can come on by me, I'll stay high, that way I'm not in your way. You be able to just go ahead because you're faster than me." That was Wasserman who put that out. Mr. Hubble, as we watch him enter turn 1, he almost goes to the outside wall, stays in the mid, drops to the low. He is shifting back and forth with the steering wheel just a little bit, but there wasn't that much tire wear as you could hear in the background. Now this time it sounds like he was applying the brake just a little bit going into the corner, or he might have just been letting off of the throttle. Now Mr. Osborne, as we look, Mr. Osborne is closing the gap. He's 1.98 seconds, and he is using the high to the inside, saving on tires. There is a car named Slim right in that rear view mirror about 2 car lengths back. Mr. Osborne is being smooth going through. He is not dropping too much. He's staying about 10 o'clock on the steering wheel as he goes through the corners. That's saving him a lot of rubber on them tires. Now we look at Mr. Slim here and check him out. See him coming around the corner. He's got Tommy Osborne. He drifts up the track just a little bit. Mr. Wasserman has been slowed down and is no longer in third place. He's down to fifth place. You hear the shifting going on with Slim as he's going out of the corners. Let's see if he's shifting going in or out. He's caught up to Tommy Osborne and pushes him through the corner there. Let's see how he enters into turn 3. He's trying to get down low up underneath him. Can he do it? It doesn't sound like it because he did let off of the gas. He did downshift to 4th. Now he's up to 5th, trying to catch up and make up for it. Colton Lamford is watching the battle in front of him, and he sees nobody in the rearview mirror for a good few seconds because Smokey Robinson is back 1 second behind him, which is a good 10 car lengths back. Colton Lamford is entering the corners. You hear him doing throttle control. He is not fighting with the steering wheel too much. It does sound like his steering ratio is probably on the lower side, so he is entering at the lower. The more input into the steering wheel, the more his car turns. So, and it's doing wonders on his tires because it sounds like he's got them going through a cheese grater right now. Now we're looking at Smokey Robinson. Smokey is right there and he sees what is going on with Colton Lamford in front of him. He's trying his best to close the gap and get up there. It's not happening though. Smokey Robinson is riding the mid to low, entering the corner, coming out mid to high. Now we have the first Toyota in the field with Curtis Sovereign as he's following Smokey Robinson. You see he is fighting with that wheel. He does not have any rubber on his tires as he goes almost to 9 o'clock to enter turn 3 and come out of 4. Let's see how he enters into turn 1. He's dropped all the way down to the yellow line. That is not a good entry at all. He's coming out, lining up against the wall as he goes into 3. Let's see how far. Yeah, he is going all the way down, trying to get all the way down to the yellow line, but the car does not want to go down there due to the speed that is going into it. His tires are being chewed to hell. Next we have Ben Campbell. Ben is sitting here trying to catch up. He is a usually stock car racer on the weekends with the I forgot what kind. I think it's the outlaw, not outlaw. It's the jalopy cars is what it looks like. But he races on the weekends and he is trying his best to get out there and get ahead of everybody as he cuts through the infield just a little bit to save some time. It's not working though. That yellow line will come back and bite him just a little bit. Next we have Tyrone Yo as he comes out of corner 2. He is running in the other Toyota in the number 2. Running down the track, he goes into the corners. You see his steering wheel stays about 930, going no lower than 930 into the corners and everything. Will he do the high? No, he goes mid to low entry. Next we have Justin Smith. Justin Smith is running pretty good. Jim Hubble is in the pits. Let's go back and take a look, see what brought out, see what's going on. So we're going back to the action now, and we are watching Larry Stubblefield work his way up the field. He is in 4th place right now. Now to 3rd place as he passes Brian Wasserman. Kenneth Pack is right behind Brian Wasserman. We're on lap 35. The pit stops are going to be starting as James Nelson is in the pits himself.
I think Joe Tech is going to be pitting this time, boys.
Justin Smith is also in the pits. All the gentlemen are talking about, let's see the pit strategy. How's it going? Will it work? Who's coming into the pits? We have Larry Stubblefield, Brian Wasserman, and Kenneth Pack. Tommy Osborne, Smokey Robinson, Curtis SUV Sovereign dropping into the pits. Crutchfield is on his way out. Let's see how they come into the pits and see if there's any mishaps, as the gentleman may skip through. It looks like we might have had one drive. Nope, Kenneth Pack was able to make it. Now Curtis SUV Sovereign. Nope, Larry Stubblefield. What the hell? Somebody was on pit road, came out, and then stopped. Jim Hubble may be out of the race, I do believe. So the race off of pit road was Larry Stubblefield, Brian Wasserman, Kenneth Pack. Justin Smith is back in. He might have had a black flag on his entry. Let's take a look, see what happened to him. Tommy Osborne is still in the pits. Adrian G. Schumacher has not pitted yet. Neither has Jamie Mullins or Slim. Colton Lanford is yet to pit, I do believe. Let me see. Yep. So the drivers on the lead lap right now are Adrian G. Schumacher, Jamie Mullins, Slim, Colton Lanford, Ben Campbell, and Tyrone Yo. And I'm trying to find out if that is because they have not made the pit stops. There goes Tyrone. He's going into the pits right now. We're looking at James Nelson as he's coming up on Brian Wasserman, who's on brand new tires as well. And they are just pulling away. Brian Wasserman is trying to catch Larry Stubblefield. They just now passed Tyrone Yo in the pits. The car in front is Colton Lanford. They got to get around the leaders to get that lap back. Is Adrian G. Schumacher going to drop into the pits anytime soon? When he drops, is Jamie Mullins going to follow him in as well, along with Slim? The 25 is slowing down. He does not have the tires to keep going with them. So Colton Lanford is slowing down just a little bit. James, I don't think he can cheat too much out here. We do have a cheating strategy for those guys, and some of them it's we just hold them in the pits as long as possible. But thank you for coming out and watching us here at the Quick Finishers Racing League.
48 pit again.
You hear the 48 is finally going to be going to the pits and taking on brand new tires and getting a getting a full tank of gas. He is pitting at lap 42, where everybody else was pitting at lap 35 to 30, between 30 and 35. So Schumacher and Mullins have pitted along with Colton Lanford. This gives Slim the opportunity to take the lead if he can get around. If Slim can get around. Slim is the only driver who has not pitted as of yet. That Ford is going now. Slim is headed toward the pits, it looks like. Slim is in the pits as Adrian Schumacher is coming out of the pits, followed by Ben Campbell. Benny Campbell is following Schumacher out of the pits. Our current leader is a surprising in number 53, but he's in the pits. Ben Campbell is struggling coming out of the pits. I don't know what's going on there. It says he's back on the track now. So our leaders have changed. It is Larry Stubblefield, Brian Wasserman, Adrian G. Schumacher, James Nelson Crutchfield, Kenneth Pack, Slim, Curtis SUV Sovereign has moved up to 6th place. Slim is in 7th place. Greg Smokey Robinson is in 7th place. Colton Lamford is down 1 lap in 9th. Jamie Mullins, it looks like, is down a lap. I've got to check something. It looks like we may have 3 drivers that are out of the race. Osborne is down 1. Hubble is out of the race. I guess he had some kind of engine trouble or a connection loss. And I'm not sure why Tommy Osborne is in the pits or down a lap. There's Tommy. So let's go back to the excitement and see. It looks like Smokey Robinson passed Slim for position 7. Ben Campbell is got Wasserman on the inside, going into 3, coming out of 4. It is Wasserman slide jobbing. No, he is not slide jobbing. He is holding his own. Schumacher is right behind the 2 as they battle it out. Schumacher is in 3rd place. They are trying to get past him, Ben Campbell and Brian Wasserman. Ben Campbell is trying to work his way up the field to get back onto the lead lap, it looks like. Wasserman moves to the outside. He lets Schumacher pass on the inside going into turn 2. Schumacher is able to make the move. It looks like Campbell got a little bit lower. Smokey Robinson is in the middle going into 3. That lap traffic is holding up Wasserman and Schumacher. Now Schumacher is clear of the lap traffic and Wasserman's right behind him. They have their eyes set on Larry Stubblefield. Larry has got 1 lap car in front of him as the 2 Predators come up behind him trying to get up as close as possible and catch him. Wasserman drives to the inside of the track and now to the middle of the track. He's got Campbell helping push. He may go a little bit higher than he wanted to because Campbell is in that lower spot. The lap car that is in front of them looks to be... Nope, it's not Colton. Dang. I don't know. I'm going through the thing. Let's take a look at the chase, the rear chase, and work our way up and see who has who behind them. This is Tommy Osborne. Justin Smith doesn't look like he has anybody behind him. Tyrone Yo has 2 cars behind him. Ben Campbell has oh, there he is. He's back in. Jamie Mullins. Jamie Mullins is trying to hold off Adrian Schumacher. Yep, it is Jamie Mullins who is being run down right now, going in the turn 3, 4, coming out into the front stretch. Schumacher is running Mullins down. Wasserman is moved back to 3rd place. Crutchfield is trying to catch up, but on his outside is Smokey Robinson. Smokey is trying his best to catch Crutchfield. I guess Smokey Robinson is trying to get some laps back or something. We're looking at Kenneth Pack trying his best to catch up to James Nelson or Crutchfield. They're on the outside. James Nelson is trying to throw blocks left and right. He's using Tyrone. He went too high. Pack is able to move to the inside. They're about to go 3 wide. Oh, coming out of 4. They are 3 wide. Nelson jumped up there and got in front of Kenneth Pack. The number 9, Justin Smith just shut the door on Kenneth Pack and pushed him back. Now Nelson and Nelson gets a little tap from Smith and it pushes him up the track. Pack is happy about that as he moves to the bottom of the track and is able to take over 4th place. Crutchfield is right behind Pack and he's following Pack on the low line going into 2. Coming out of 2, they're almost up against the wall. You see Smith not too happy that James Nelson cut his nose off coming out of 2. They're side by side. Pack is following Tyrone into 4 through the front stretch. Tyrone is being drafted by Kenneth Pack. James Nelson is trying his best to catch up to Kenneth Pack and get into the draft. There's not much draft on this short track here. All 4 drivers are lined up. 1 driver is not fighting for a position. He's fighting to get back up on the lead. Tyrone is a lap down, it looks like. These 4 drivers were having a good time. Now they are fighting it out just for the first time, or they're fighting it out for 4th and 5th place. Slim has passed Smokey Robinson. Kenneth Pack follows Robinson high. James Nelson stayed low. He was able to pass Kenneth Pack. Now he's back in the 4th place. Pack is back in 5th place, but he is right on the bumper. Now he's in the mid of turn 2. Nelson's going to slide just a little bit right behind Tyrone. Tyrone is the leader of this 4-man pit party here, it looks like. They're staying low. Tyrone is staying in the middle, trying not to... He's being conservative, it looks like. Justin Smith, James Nelson, and Kenneth Pack are fighting it out. Why Smith is even fighting it out, I'm not sure, because he's a lap down as well. If the caution comes out, we would have a go-around. The first one to get the free pass. I'm sorry, folks. My brain just went to mush. Greg Smokey Robinson is out of the race, folks. It says that he has lost connection. Now he's back in. What in the world? That Smokey Robinson is having issues with his internet connection, folks. And so with that, Kenneth Pack and James Nelson are starting to worry whether or not they can pass by him safely, because he would be blinking and could possibly blink out and come back where they are. So Kenneth Pack was able to get past Nelson and around Smokey Robinson. He's trying to get away from Smokey Robinson. James Nelson is trying to go low. I think Robinson has figured out that he is having some issues. However, Justin Smith is just trying his best to ram his way through the two of James Nelson and Tyrone Yo. Tyrone drifts up the track, does not bring out a caution. Now it is between Justin Smith and James Nelson. Justin Smith is just trying to get around the track and get there as fast as he can to get back up to Adrian G. Schumacher and Brian Wasserman. Wasserman and Stubblefield have been battling it out for second place. Kenneth Pack and James Nelson have been battling it out for fourth place. And sixth place, we have Slim. Seventh place is Curtis SUV Sovereign. Let's go check in on these drivers. These drivers should be getting ready to come in and pit for their last set of tires with 65 laps to go. They probably will be pitting in the next few minutes, probably around 60 laps, and then I'm guessing again at lap with less than 30 laps left to go. Fresher tires may be the benefits for these gentlemen. I don't know. We will find out here soon and see. We're on, oh shoot, we're only on lap 66 of 140. I thought that said lap 60 left to go. Folks, I'm sorry. I'm going to the eye doctor on Monday. I will have a new pair of glasses. Hopefully that will help me be able to see what the heck is going on. And James, we do not need, I wouldn't mind having a co-announcer, but we do not need to see a demolition derby out here. But I would, if you know how to do the announcing, I wouldn't mind. We could set you up and get you into the booth with us. Shoot me a message and we'll see what we can do for you. We're watching James Nelson and Justin Smith fight it out, even though I don't understand why Justin Smith or James Nelson is fighting with Justin Smith as much as he has been. These two are on two separate ends of the racetrack. Slim has passed Curtis for 6th place. Larry Stubblefield is moving his way up the track. He's still holding it off. He's got Kenneth Pack trying to catch up to him and run him down. Kenneth Pack has been a man on a mission. And now that I'm sitting here and I'm reading everything right, we have 70 laps of 140. We're at the halfway mark. They may throw the caution any second now to re-rack the field. Since there hasn't been a caution at all, There it is, folks. The caution has been thrown. We are re-racking the field. All the drivers will be coming in, fix any minor damage that they have, get 4 brand new tires. We're going to go to pit lane 2 and pit lane and see the battle as these gentlemen come down the track. Actually, go to the leader. Adrian Schumacher is your leader currently. Brian Westerman is in second place. Larry Stubblefield is in third place. Larry Stubblefield is in third place. Kenneth Peck is in fourth place. James Nelson is in fifth place. Slim, sixth place. SUV, seventh place. Jamie. We're going to see who the wave around car belongs to. It looks like Benny will be our wave around. In the Ford Shelby, he gets the wave around. He will be able to pit now, this time around, and try and keep up with the pit lane. Let's take a look at the pit lane and see how it works. Who's going in, who's coming off? Jamie Mullins is in the pit road. He is getting his tires. First one out is Adrian Schumacher. Next one out is Larry Stubblefield. After that, we have Brian Wasserman, Kenneth Peck, James Nelson, Slim, Curtis, Jamie Mullins, Smokey Robinson, Colton Lanford. They're coming off of the pits right now. Ben Campbell is in the pits. Justin Smith is traveling around. So the race off of pit road belongs to Adrian Schumacher. Justin Smith and Tyrone will be pitting at this time, or they may have stayed out to be able to get the wave around. Nah, they didn't get that. Tommy Osborne looks like he's stayed out just a little bit too. I'm wondering what Tommy Osborne's strategy is. Let's see the excitement as we look around. Tommy Osborne may be down a lap and couldn't have pitted just yet because the lights are not out on the pit car or the pace car just yet. We're at lap 73 of 140 laps tonight at the Bluegrass Open. James Gospel, have you by any chance done any broadcasting in the past? If you have, let me know. I don't know what Tommy Osborne's strategy is right now. He's only one lap down. I'm wondering if he stayed out to get a wave around so that he can run all the way around the field real quick. Because the lights are not out on the pace car as of yet. And he has, as of yet, pitted. There he goes. He got the wave around. Tommy Osborne took off like a bat out of hell. So we're watching them line up. And here's your lineup as of the moment. You have in first place Adrian Schumacher, Larry Stubblefield, Brian Wasserman, Kenneth Peck, and James Crutchfield. Slim is on the ends. What? Yeah. Next is those are your top 5. Slim starts in 6th. Jamie Mullins in 7th. Curtis SUV Sovereign in 8th. Colton Lamford in 9th. Benny in 10th. Smokey Robinson in 11th. Tyrone Yo is out. Justin Smith is out. Tyrone is bouncing back and forth. He might be having some issues. And Tommy Osborne is down a lap. Yeah, Yo is down a lap. Smith, Osborne, and Hubble is out of the race. So we're going to be watching the excitement. Here they go. Schumacher got a good run. He just put the pedal to the metal, took off like a bat out of hell. You see 6 car lengths in between him and Wasserman. Pack. Stubblefield dropped down in front of Pack. Wasserman is right there. Oh, we had a bounce off the outside. Slim bounced off the outside. He is wrecked back there. Let's go back, take a quick gander, see what happened. We have the crash. We will see exactly what happened here. Slim just lost it, bashed into the inside wall. And the caution has not come out because he is by himself. He's able to get the car rolling and keep going. No caution has been thrown. Let's go back live. Oh, and they did throw the caution. The caution was thrown on lap 76 for Slim crashing. Ben Campbell was able to move up past Curtis, and because Slim crashed out, everybody was able to get past him. Well, James, I see that you haven't, so what I'll do is I'll have to talk to you in a offline. I'll give you a email address or Facebook, something like that, and we will talk to each other and work something out to where you can be able to broadcast if you would like to. However, you have to have iRacing to do it. So I need to know if you have iRacing as well. It doesn't look like too many people will be taking the takers to go into the pits. If they do, the only thing they would be getting in and out of is the fuel to make up for the few extra ounces that they just burn off doing one lap. So Tyrone Yo is now in 11th place, and Slim has been moved to 12th place. He's out of the pits and back out on the course. Each of the drivers have one fast repair, which will completely repair all the damage to their car. However, it does not repair or refuel the car. It doesn't repair the tires or refuel the car. That's what I meant to say. So these gentlemen, as we watch one of the individuals blink in and out, look like it might have been who just lost connection for a second. I don't know who it was. They may be back. But the lights are still on the pace car. All the drivers are dropping in, getting gas, and getting out so that they can be able to maintain the full weight of the car, get that downforce, be able to speed, and maintain the speeds and stuff that they need to be able to keep up with the leaders. So the leaders didn't change. However, Slim did go from 5th place or 6th place to 9th place because he crashed and had to hit the pits. He was able to get it back under control and get out there, but the admin saw problems and threw it just to re-rack the field at, and also make a safety to where no debris was on the track whenever the leaders came around. So, because when he hit that inside wall, he lost everything. The front end, the back end, everything was gone. That whole passenger side was destroyed. Alright, the lights are off on the pace car as the drivers are making their way around. We're stacking them up. Unfortunately, iRacing does not have the choose cone, so Adrian G. Schumacher is on the inside, Larry Stubblefield outside, Kenneth Pack inside, James Crutchfield outside, Jamie Mullins inside, Brian Wasserman, Brian Wasserman inside, Jamie Mullins outside, Ben Campbell inside, Curtis SUV Sovereign outside, Colton Lamford inside, Slim outside, Tyrone Yo inside, Gregory Robinson inside or outside, and because he's a lap down, Justin Smith and Tommy Osborne are rounding out the back of the field. Justin Smith's on the inside, Tommy Osborne's on the outside, and Smokey Robinson is at the back of the field on the inside. Here we go. Pace car's about to drop. Coming out of turn 3. Let's listen to it and see how this goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I turned the volume up so that you could hear the speed of the cars going around the track. I was trying to get the camera to work with me, but it just did not want to work with me during that segment. So, as it stands, Brian Wasserman's passed James Nelson for position 4. Benny has passed Jamie for position 6. Crutchfield passed Wasserman for 4. Jamie has passed Benny for position 6. So we're in a fight right now as Jamie Mullins and Ben Campbell are bumping it into each other. It's not intentional, it doesn't look like, but Jamie Mullins bumped Ben Campbell out of the way so that he could take over the 6th place, the 7th place. Slim passed Benny for 8th place. Slim is right behind Jamie Mullins right now. The battle is back here for 6th, 7th, and 8th place. They're trying to catch up on the Curtis Sovereign. Jamie Mullins is moving his way up the track, but Curtis Sovereign has got the pedal to the metal as he enters turn 3 with Jamie Mullins right behind him. Ben Wasserman is right in front of him. or Brian Wasserman, not Ben, sorry. We're watching as Wasserman fights it out with Crutchfield, trying to get that 4th and 5th place. Wasserman's wanting 4th place. Crutchfield's trying to keep him back there. Pack is trying to keep Nelson behind him. It's a 3-car. It's a conga line going into 3, coming out of 4. Everybody is following Adrian Schumacher. And they are doing the conga. Ta 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 ta. Now they are splitting it. Nelson goes to the inside of Kenneth Pack. Brian Wasserman is trying to shoot the middle between the two. Now Curtis Sovereign is moving in. Kenneth Pack has been passed by both Wasserman and Nelson. Crutchfield and Wasserman were able to get past Kenneth Pack. Wasserman is right there. Curtis Sovereign is past. He is running side by side with Kenneth Pack. That little Toyota does not have what it takes to get past that Camaro, though, of Kenneth Pack. Kenneth Pack, being nice, shoots up the track to give Curtis Sovereign the chance to be able to pass on the inside. But Pack is still holding his own, and he has said, no, sir, you don't have it. What that Toyota is not going to make the top 5. But it does. Curtis Sovereign is able to nose ahead of Kenneth Pack. Now Kenneth Pack has moved back ahead of Curtis Sovereign. We're watching it as it unfolds. Side by side, coming into the front stretch. It is Curtis Sovereign and Kenneth Pack. Now we're watching Brian Wasserman as he's all over the back end of James Nelson in the Crutchfield car. James Nelson is trying his best to hold it off. Now Kenneth Pack moves to the outside and is slowly drifting up the track. Curtis Sovereign inside noses ahead of Kenneth Pack. Now he is trying to do the slide job, does not succeed, stays low, crosses the start-finish line ahead of Kenneth Pack by the front fender. Now he slides up in front of Kenneth Pack. Kenneth Pack drops down behind Curtis Sovereign. Curtis Sovereign is now in 5th place and trying to get up there to James Nelson and Brian Wasserman. Kenneth Pack is right behind Curtis Sovereign. He's all over that bumper. Let's take a look from the inside and you will see that Curtis Sovereign has a lot of panicking to do. We're watching the inside. You see that 16 is in the mirror, in the side view mirror. There is nothing but the front end of that headlight, front end of the Camaro as it closes in. The 16 is all over the back end of Curtis Sovereign's little Toyota. He's got this Toyota rolling as fast as possible. Just because you drive a Camry in real life does not mean you can drive a Camry in the NASCAR Cup Series there, Mr. Sovereign. Kenneth Pack is trying his best to keep and maintain his tires. You see that it sounds like he did. Curtis Sovereign has downshifted going into 4. Coming out, he is shooting up across and shifts as he crosses the start-finish line. Is it being beneficial to him? It looks like it in the short run. We got to see what the long run has to do. We have 48 laps left of the race. You hear all that shifting going on. You hear the tire wear. Let's take a look at Brian Wasserman. Brian is all over the back end of James Nelson. Looking at Crutchfield's car, you look in the rear view mirror, all you see is the front end of Brian Wasserman's Chevrolet. Every now and then in the side view mirror, the way it looks, You can see the headlight for that Camaro, and that's it. That's all you see is the Camaro's headlight. The Dorito car is trying to get there as fast as possible. Now we'll move up to Larry Stubblefield, who has taken over first place from Adrian Schumacher. He looks in the side view mirror, and there's the Camaro. It's closing in on him. There is no front end in the rear view mirror as they go into turn 3. Stubblefield has moved up the track just a little bit to the outside wall. Now he shoots to the inside. He has got the lead. Schumacher is having connection issues. That is why he is blinking in the rear view mirror. This is not good for Schumacher. It could be the reason that he is being slow tonight. Let's take a look at Schumacher though. You see him driving through the corners. He's staying all over the rear bumper and staying on his line. He does not care which way Stubblefield is going. He is maintaining his own line and choice of where he is driving. Since Stubblefield is ahead of him, he doesn't have to worry about which way on the left or right he is, as long as he stays ahead or behind him. You see, Schumacher has chosen his own ways through the track, and he is not downshifting. As Stubblefield breaks that outside wall, that gives it does. Schumacher is now the leader. You know, Stubblefield is not happy with himself for losing a little bit of control on that one. Now Adrian Schumacher has taken over the lead with 43 laps left of the race. You got to figure probably around about lap 30, with 30 laps left of the race, everybody will probably, between 40 to 30, everybody will start doing their pit party and going into the pits to get that last set of tires so that they can be able to maintain it and go as far as they can and as fast as they can. The leader, Adrian Schumacher, though, has his own strategy and works his own way around the track. We are watching Kenneth Pack as he's fighting with Jamie Mullins for 5th and 6th place. Jamie Mullins is moving to the inside. Kenneth Pack is on the outside. They have passed Curtis SUV Sovereign, who has dropped to 7th place. Curtis was overdriving it and burned up his tires, and that gave Pack and Jamie Mullins the opportunity to go around him. Now, Jamie Mullins and Kenneth Pack may be working together to catch up to Brian Wasserman and James Nelson. I promise I can talk. We got 40 laps left in the race, folks. Brian Wasserman is all over the back of James Nelson. Kenneth Pack is all over the back end of Brian Wasserman. And Jamie Mullins is right behind Kenneth Pack. The tires have worn out on Curtis Sovereign's car, as Slim is now catching Curtis Sovereign. Oh, maybe I spoke too soon. Slim is not right behind Sovereign anymore. We have a 4-car tango going along for 4th, 5th, and 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. Brian Wasserman is trying to move to the outside. Jamie Mullins slingshots around Kenneth Pack, moving him up to 5th place. They're side by side coming out of 2. Mullins and Wasserman are still holding and fighting for that 4th position. Kenneth Pack has dropped down behind Jamie Mullins and is pushing him forward. Jamie Mullins has taken over 4th place. Brian Wasserman is moving back. Kenneth Pack is now on the inside and taking over 5th place. Brian Wasserman has been moved to 6th place. Either Brian Wasserman has lost something with the tires or he's got something planned. I don't know which one it would be. But the Tango is still being led by James Crutchfield Nelson. Now on the inside goes Jamie Mullins, followed by Kenneth Pack. Jamie Mullins is using that lower edge of the infield. Going into the corner, he's able to bypass James Nelson, pushing him back. James Nelson and Kenneth Pack are fighting it out for 3rd and 4th, or 4th and 5th now. Nelson's running high again. Pack is on the low side. Will Pack be able to slide up as Nelson? Yes, Nelson gets moved to 5th place. Kenneth Pack is now in 4th place. So your 4th and 5th place have been replaced by the 5th and 6th place. Correction, 3rd and 4th have been replaced by 5th and 6th. That's what I said, wasn't it? Anyway. So, the race has been pretty going. We got 35 laps left. They do not have enough fuel to make the full 35 laps. I do not believe they have enough fuel to go all the way around for the full 35 laps. 34 laps are left. We're watching Jamie Mullins as he's creeping up on Larry Stubblefield. Kenneth Pack is trying his best to get up there and give some competition as well. Excuse me, I had the hiccups for a second. Or burp. I don't know what it was. Adrian G. Schumacher is not worried about anybody because he has a 2.19 second gap on Jamie Mullins. Jamie Mullins is gaining on Larry Stubblefield. We got 33 laps left to go in the race, folks. You know that the pit strategies are going to be coming in. Here comes Slim down the backstretch. He just flew by Colton Lamford. Colton Lamford also... Whoa, what just happened? James Nelson is out of the pit. James Nelson was the first to pit. And now he's he's out of the pit. We're watching as the nationwide 25 of Lamford Nation comes flying around the track trying to catch up to Slim in the Ford. I'm sorry, folks. My throat is a little bit on the dry side right now. I am trying my best to be productive. And seeing that Sprite car, it kind of makes me a little bit thirstier. But I don't want a Sprite. My drink of choice, believe it or not, is a Dr. Pepper. However, I will not run the Dr. Pepper car. Because I am not a Bubba Wallace fan. Not because of some of the things that he has done or said. It is because I just don't like Bubba Wallace for his attitude. So, you're watching Slim try to catch up to Curtis. SUV Sovereign going into turn 3. Sovereign is pulling away just a little bit, but you gotta wonder, are the tires starting to have some problems? Kenneth Pack is in the pits right now, getting brand new tires and a full tank of gas at least, with 29 laps left to go. Adrian Schumacher and Jamie Mullins have not pitted. Larry Stubblefield have not pitted. Curtis Sovereign has not pitted, and because he's not pitted, he has moved up to 4th place, with Slim in 5th place. Colton Lamford in 6th place. Ben Campbell is in 7th place. Tyrone Yo is in the pits right now. Tommy Osborne the two-timer, is out of the pits. Brian Wasserman is out of the pits. Justin Smith out of the pits. James Nelson is out of the pits, but 1 lap down. Oh, they touch as they go into the corner. Nelson slid up just a little bit and gave Slim a little nudge so he could be able to go by him. Now Tommy Osborne is moving up closer because that nudge has slowed Slim down just a little bit. There is no tire marks on the side of the car, though. I'm not seeing any tire marks as we take a look at Slim's car. The Sprunk, that's not a Sprite car. What the hell is Sprunk? I know what Spunk is, but what is Sprunk? Anyway. Now Brian Wasserman is all over the back end of Slim. And he is trying his best to get back up. He goes around Colton Lamford like he's sitting still. Brian Wasserman is on the move, folks. He is moving up the track as fast as he possibly can. He is like a bat out of hell right now. And I don't know who pissed him off, but he is trying his best to get back on that lead lap. He is hoping that Adrian Schumacher and Jamie Mullins or Larry Stubblefield and Curtis SUV Sovereign will be pitting anytime now. There goes Larry Stubblefield into the pits. Curtis Sovereign looks like he just missed the pit entrance. I don't know if he was deciding to or not, but Brian Wasserman is passing Sovereign like he is sitting still, and he's doing it with ease on the outside. Wasserman is moving like everything is like his life is dependent on this race being won. We're 23 laps left to go. Adrian Schumacher has yet to pit. Curtis Sovereign is in the pits. Jamie Mullins is in the pits. Larry Stubblefield and Ben Campbell. Larry Stubblefield's coming out of the pits. Ben Campbell is still in the pit. We're watching Colton Lamford battle it out with James Nelson. And Jamie, they were 3 wide there for just a second going around Justin Smith. Justin Smith is pushing as hard as he can. I don't know if he has enough on that mouse wheel to get that Camaro up there on the lead lap before everything else goes down. We got 22 laps left to go. This is where it's all going to be. Adrian Schumacher is in the pit now. Colton Lamford is your leader for the moment. Colton Lamford is in the lead as of right now. He is the only person on the lead lap. Everybody else is behind him. Now they're coming out of the pits. Colton Lamford is no longer... He's still leading. Brian Wasserman is pushing his car all the way as fast as he can to get around the track. There goes Tommy Osborne in the number 1. We're watching him as he's trying to catch Curtis SUV Sovereign. Everybody has to be able to catch Colton Lamford or hope and pray Colton Lamford goes into the pits so that they can get on the lead lap. We're watching. Tommy Osborne just flew past Curtis Sovereign. I don't know what pit strategy Curtis is on. He's got 20 laps to go. Smokey Robinson's in the pits to get brand new tires and probably top off the fuel tank. You see Curtis SUV Sovereign's. He is throwing blocks on Slim like crazy. Curtis drifts up right behind Tommy. Now he goes to the inside. He wants that position back on Tommy Osborne. I don't know why he's trying to race Tommy Osborne, because Tommy Osborne is a lap down. Gregory Smokey Robinson is out of the race due to connection issues, folks. We have lost him, it seems. 19 laps left to go. It looks like Slim got into the back end of Curtis Sauber and pushed him up the track as he shot down the track just a little bit. They are side by side. Colton Lamford says he is pitting into... Our leader right now is Brian Wasserman with James Crutchfield right behind him. Jamie Mullins, Larry Stubblefield, Kenneth Peck, Slim, Curtis, SUV Sovereign, Ben Campbell, Tyrone Yo, Colton Lamford, Adrian G. Schumacher. Oh, what's happened with Adrian? Something's not right here. Adrian is not on the lead lap anymore. Brian Wasserman is leading this race. And side by side, Curtis SUV Sovereigns with Slim going into turn 3. They're still side by side. Slim's got a fender lead. Now coming into the front stretch, it's Curtis Sovereign by a bumper, it looked like. Curtis SUV Sovereign has taken over 6th place. Now Slim's taking it over on the outside of the track. Slim and Sovereign are fighting it out for 6th and 7th place. Not 5th and 6th, 6th and 7th. So the battle right now is for 6th place. And it's between the 54 Toyota and the 53 Ford Mustang. The Toyota is able to move to the inside, get in front of him, and stay low. Curtis is holding his own. He got a little too close to the wall. He didn't hit it, but he did get close enough to where he could touch it. Curtis Sovereign is pushing his way down the track. He sees Tommy Osborne, who's laps down ahead of him. He is trying to get into the draft and be able to be pulled around the track by Tommy Osborne. They're going into 3. Curtis has got a 4-car length, 5, 6-car length now on Slim. Slim is trying his best to close that car length. It's not working. I guess he overdrove it. Now we're watching Jamie Mullins as he tries to catch Crutchfield. James Nelson. Justin Smith is the lap down car. Will Justin Smith be a factor, a hinder, or a helper in this one? It looks like right now Justin Smith is a little bit of a hindrance to Jamie Mullins in catching James Nelson. Justin Smith went to the outside, let Jamie Mullins go to the inside. Jamie Mullins takes over 2nd place from James Nelson. Justin Smith stayed high. However, there's Larry Stubblefield right behind Justin Smith. Brian Wasserman is running away with it. We got 12 laps left to go, folks. Adrian G. Schumacher is still down a lap. Nelson goes high. Stubblefield is pushing on the inside. Nelson is staying high. Justin Smith is staying high and blocking, it looks like, James Nelson. Larry Stubblefield is right behind Nelson now. He's right on the bumper as we come out of turn 3 and 4. On the inside, going into the back stretch, Stubblefield moves to the inside and takes over 3rd place from James Nelson. Nelson had nothing to hold him back. Justin Smith is now the lap car that is keeping Larry Stubblefield from getting up to Jamie Mullins. Jamie Mullins is pushing and pedaling as hard as he can to catch Brian Wasserman. Larry Stubblefield is only back by 2.3 seconds, 2.2 seconds, 2.20, 2.15 seconds from Wasserman now. Wasserman is within view. You can see him as he goes into the corner. It is Justin Smith that is slowing Larry Stubblefield down. Jamie Mullins, however, has made it past Justin Smith, and he has Wasserman in his sights, and he's about to pull the big one and go around him. He's getting into the draft. He drops low. Wasserman was a little high. Coming into turns one, Wasserman's high, not able to drop to the apron. Mullins moves to the apron. Wasserman stays one bumper ahead. It is Wasserman by inches. Now Mullins moves in and he takes the lead from Wasserman because he stayed low down by the apron. Now he slingshots to the outside wall. Wasserman is trying to drop low. Justin Smith is trying to catch up to Wasserman. Justin Smith is wanting his lap back, and he doesn't care who is behind him. He cares about who's in front of him. We're watching Wasserman slow down for some reason. 7 laps to go in the Bluegrass 140. Bluegrass Open 140. I know it says Mine is Bigger 180 on the top of the banner, but it's not. It is the Bluegrass Open 140. Wasserman gets passed by Justin Smith. He is now a hindrance to Larry Stubblefield. Larry Stubblefield is closing in on Wasserman on the inside of the track. Coming out of turn 2, Wasserman stays close to the fence. He stays up high. Stubblefield shoots to the inside. Wasserman stayed high. He is using the momentum of the hill to try and get down there, but it does not help. Larry Stubblefield is in second place. 5 laps to go. Can Larry Stubblefield close the gap on Jamie Mullins with Justin Smith in between him and Mullins being a hindrance? Justin Smith is giving it everything he got, and he is trying his best to keep up and get up there so he can get ahead of Jamie Mullins to get a lap back and say he finished on the lead lap. Jamie Mullins is put us at 4 laps to go. Jamie Mullins is only 1.7 seconds, 1.6 seconds ahead of Larry Stubblefield. Larry has got the foot down on the floor. He is driving as hard as he can. He's looking for the openings, trying to make sure that he can get that car as fast as possible around the track. But with all the dirty air being thrown by Justin Smith, it is hard for him to do anything right now. Jamie Mullins has all the clean air on the track that he wants. He's able to pull it and go. 3 laps left to go, folks. We have 3 laps left to go. Justin Smith is right there. I don't know if he knows he's being a hindrance to Larry Stubblefield or not, but he is trying his best to catch up to Jamie Mullins and get ahead of him so he can get the lap back. 2 laps left to go, folks. They are fighting it around, trying to get to the lead lap. Adrian Schumacher is coming out of nowhere, but he is a lap down. He is catching James Nelson. With 2 laps left to go, it looks like James Nelson is trying his best to stay ahead of Adrian Schumacher, our leader for the night. However, Schumacher is not able. We have the white flag, folks. Let's go back to the leaders and see how it goes. Jamie Mullins is coming around the track as fast as he can. The next person behind him is 2.23 seconds back, and that is Larry Stubblefield, not the red car of Justin Smith right behind him. As they come down through the home stretch, let's see how it goes. Jamie Mullins is your winner of the Bluegrass Open 140 tonight. We have Larry Stubblefield in second place, Brian Wasserman in third place, James Nelson Crutchfield in fourth place, Kenneth Pack in fifth place, Curtis SUV Sovereign in sixth place, Ben Campbell is in seventh place. Slim is in 8th place. Colton Lamford in 9th place. We just watched the friendly love tap at the end of the race. Oh, Slim just nailed Nelson in the rear end. Nelson's got it going. So Colton Lamford took 9th place. Tyrone Yo took 10th place, Adrian Schumacher, 11th place, Tommy Osborne in 12th place, Justin Smith, 13th place, Smokey Robinson, 14th place, and Jim Hubble finished in 15th place. We'll watch all the excitement, see Brian Wasserman as he rolls around the track. Let's see what he does. That's a Dos Equis car. I thought it was a Doritos car. And we have the screenshot for the night. Now we're watching as Kenneth Pack, like a shark, moves up behind. Let's see. Oh, here comes the tomfoolery. Larry Stubblefield missed. Kenneth Pack nailed Stubblefield. Here's where the Demolition Derby starts, ladies and gentlemen. See who the last car is to be rolling during this. Oh, James Nelson just blasted Kenneth Pack back into Larry Stubblefield. Larry says, I don't appreciate that, and whacked him one more good time. Ben Campbell is chasing James Nelson. Ding! We have a little bit of a bump and go there. Now we're watching Jamie Mullins as he gets up to speed going around the track. What is he going to do? Is he going to make it around the track completely? He is doing his victory celebration around the track. Doing the Daytona 500 pit stop. Will he make it into his pit at max speed and stop? Yep. All right, folks. Let's go meet our contestants over here, shall we? Sorry. I'm coming in, guys, with a live broadcast. Okay, hey. Yeah, send the top 3 up to the broadcast booth. Hello, Serge. This is Jamie Mullins that we have on the line with us. So, you started off in the very good spots, but You had a few moments where you weren't up there, and then you came back out of nowhere. What? Oh, that had to suck. Yeah. Well, I was starting to wonder when Adrian was planning on his pit entrance and stuff because he went a long time. Now, I noticed one of the things that he was able to do was he was passing you because he was saving his tires on by going high, going into one, and then coming low and then back high to two, coming out. And you, from what I could see, were going low in the turns one and trying to hug the apron. Was that burning up your tires too much? Oh,
off of the turn, especially coming off of 4. 1 and 2 would roll pretty good, but 3 and 4, I don't know what it is with that corner, but it kept wanting to push up. So if you're racing somebody, being on the outside was the way to go because they'd have to, play with the throttle being down low to keep from having to push up on you. But overall, it was a good race. I mean, it was a very fun race. Like I said, Adrian, he was a class of field, and so it just goes to show you a simple mistake can actually turn the race around.
yeah, it can turn everything on a dime. Was any? I mean, it stayed green except for one incident. Was that green, or was that one incident where beneficial to you?
Yeah,
Where
I mean,
Slim hit the wall?
yeah, it was because like I said, I was right on the edge of going a lap down from my pit road miscue, and luckily, well, that was the stage break. But then there was another miscue. I didn't actually see it, but that helped me. That allowed me to come back in and get caught back up with the leaders, and was able to do some things. Then Brian there towards the end, man, he had a 7-second lead at one time, and
Yeah,
caught him with like 10 to go. Of course, he said he could hear the Jaws theme playing with me
yeah.
coming behind him, but with fresher tires. But
Yeah, he came out of the pits and he was like a rocket. He had the fastest car on the track. He was passing cars on the outside of in the corners. On the
mm,
outside, he passed them like they were sitting still. And I
yeah, I
was,
mean, he was very fast. I mean, at the beginning, Kenneth, Brian, really fast. Curtis was really fast. He passed me, and him and Kenneth was racing pretty much side by side for a while, which allowed me to kind of catch back up to them. But they had some really serious speed on the short run. Uh, but Larry ran really good. Congratulations on him on second. And Brian finishing third. As a really cool little race.
now was the lap car uh, a hindrance or helpful to you in catching Brian there toward the end?
Oh no, Justin knew what the situation was, and he got out of our way and let us by. I mean, he did what he needed to do and still not hurt him. So uh, he he's a good guy like that. I mean, I'd do the same if the roles were reversed. I'm not going to get into a battling contest with the leaders. There's no way. But he he knew where he was on the track and where we were in relation to him, and he raced us clean.
Well, all right. And the Larry Stubblefield coming in right behind you, did you feel like the Jaws theme was coming up on you in those
Well,
last couple of laps?
It crossed my mind, but I, kept looking at the relative, and he stayed roughly, 1.1 seconds. He wasn't gaining and he wasn't losing anything from me. So I knew really I just had to buckle down and see what I could do with Brian. And, Brian, he could have held his line, but he knew I was coming, and he moved up. I mean, he let me by. And I wouldn't say let me by. He just didn't have no tires left and knew there wasn't nothing there to race with. But I mean, man, these guys, I tell you, it really, really good league here. We were cutting up, and we're all in the same Discord. We're all chit-chatting around. Good bunch of people here, and if anybody's watching, come join us. We have a blast.
Yeah, we had a couple watching us. We had one watching us on Twitter, or not Twitter, on Twitch, and one watching or a couple on YouTube. So Facebook, it's not telling me how many was watching or if anybody did watch, but
I think we picked up a couple, during that last recruitment race, and it's a fun league, guys. I mean, it's great racing, a lot of having fun. Quick Finishers Racing League to me it's the way to go.
Yeah, it has been a lot of fun racing with the Ensign broadcasting. So.
Oh yeah, man. We really appreciate you doing this, stepping up and doing the broadcast. I can't wait to go back and watch it.
Well, it's going to be interesting because Kenneth and James Nelson were a big part of the fight tonight, and then it was Slim and who the heck is Slim, by the way? Curtis were the other. Yeah. Curtis and Slim were the ones fighting it out for a little bit too.
Oh yeah. Like I said, Curtis and Kenneth were racing pretty hard there towards the latter part of the race. Like I said, these guys, they really, really fast. On the short run speeds. I mean, Curtis blew by me. I mean, he just left me standing, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? But I don't know if it's just the new off the tires wore off and they faded back a little bit. But man, these guys are quick on the short run. I was like, man, I cannot race these guys this hard this early, because I knew then I was like, man, tire saving is going to be key.
Well, there for a minute there was you, Kenneth, Nelson, and one other. I forget who the fourth one was. But it looked like y'all were doing the conga and doing that dun 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 dun. So I started making fun of that, and as soon as I did, y'all split apart. Like y'all were listening into the broadcast, and it was like, oh, we're not doing this no more.
No, I think, like I said, I think the new wore off the tires, and that separated the guys that ran pretty hard at the beginning compared to the other ones. So I mean, and then also when you get guys that are racing side by side, that allows the car behind them to catch back up because they're racing hard. So that might have been what caused all that stuff. But overall,
was there any opportunity for a draft on this racetrack?
I would say there was a little bit of a draft, but man, my car acted so much differently back in the pack. It was so tight. It was really hard to turn, but it seems like once I was around, following Adrian there for a while at the beginning, it changed. It was kind of like as soon as you get behind a draft and feel the wake of these cars, it just got very, very tight. And I think that's what made the racing so much fun. Because of that. But yeah, I mean, I think he was able to feel a little bit of the draft, but I don't think it's the draft was as strong as say like, the other mile and a halves like Charlotte, things like that. But you could feel a little bit of it. Not so much on the back stretch. You could feel a little bit of it in the front stretch, but not a lot in the back.
Okay.
It was all about runs off the corner was really what was key.
It looked like some of the drivers were diming 3 and 4, and Wasserman looked like he was going high in 3 to shoot low in 4, but at first it looked like it was benefiting him, but then there toward the last it looked like it just wasn't helping him when you blew by him.
Well, his tires were old. He pitted I don't know how many laps before I did. So I
Oh,
mean,
okay.
he ran pretty hard. But going into 3, I found out that Toyota sign going in, I would, let off and start trail braking there, but then I downshift automatically, as soon as I crossed that, which allowed it to hug that bottom into 3 and 4. And then I was hitting back 5th gear right towards the start finish line, but then I held 5th gear, pretty much through 1 and 2, and it was, yeah, I'd enter towards the end. I'd enter 1 and 2 a little high, and then try to diamond it down to where you could catch the runoff. Because if you got up above it, out of that groove a little bit, it would get tied into the wall. So I was trying to adjust my line there. But 3 and 4, I found out that shifting down to 4th really helped the car want to rotate towards the bottom, which is what I needed.
So instead of using the brake, you were basically using the gears to help you be able to go through the corners.
A little bit of both. I mean, I wasn't putting a lot of brake, but I was holding the brake, really trail braking through the whole turn. I wasn't just, braking and then letting off and letting it roll. I was actually holding the brake through the turns to kind of help guide it down towards the bottom of that yellow line, and was able to get some really good runs off.
Oh, okay. Well, learn something new every day from each of the drivers.
Yeah, like I said, I didn't learn that until about halfway through the race. I mean, there for the first half, I mean, I was running 5th gear, and I saw Adrian pulling away, and I'm like, man, he's got to be doing something different than I'm doing. But I mean, I don't know if he was saving tires towards the end of that run, but I found myself, I could catch him at about a tenth a lap. And I thought maybe might have been conserving fuel, because I don't know if he was sputtering coming down pit road when I did or not, but I think I was using a little bit more fuel because of the shifting. But overall, I mean, I can't be more happier.
No, it puts you into the bracket. You're one and in. So.
Yeah. Well, I think I won in Atlanta too, so I mean, it's my second
okay.
win. But really, I was just in here trying some things, trying to do something. I didn't have nothing to lose. I knew I had that win in the bucket, but was trying to do some things a little bit different, and it seemed to work out.
All right. Well, anything else you want to say?
No, thanks, Mark, for broadcasting this, and I really want to thank the Quick Finishers Racing League for putting on such a good show. It's a testament on people that we have here racing and how much fun. I mean, like I said, you get into these discords with them, with all of us in one channel, and we're just chatting and laughing and
cutting up and having a good time.
Yeah, Larry playing that Boots with the Fur song. It's pretty funny. I think that's our anthem now for Quick Finishers. But yeah, I mean, you totally forget. I mean, the next thing I know, the race is over, and you're kind of like, man, where'd it go? But when you're having fun and you're racing hard, you just have a blast, and I think that's what this league's all about.
Yep, that's how it should be. Just out here having a good time and getting around the track as fast as you can.
Yeah, and still trying to take care of the shoes that are on the car. So that's the hard part. But yeah, thank y'all for everything you do. Can't wait till next week.
Yeah, I gotta remember where we're going next week. So.
I can't remember. I'd have to pull it up to see.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I can't remember 2 days from now, so.
You're not the only one.
All right. Well, all right, man. Thank you again for broadcast. I can't wait to go back to watch it.
Yes, sir.
All right. Have a good night.
You too. All right. All right, folks. So that will wind up the race. This was the Bluegrass Open 140 at the Kentucky Motor Speedway. Brought to you by the Quick Finishers Racing League. Hosted by the Mudslide Media. I'm your host, Mark Mudslide Hollifield. Hopefully we'll see y'all again next week. Don't have too much fun.